What are we doing here? Are we
We're
saying
just
the
going through,
Japanese?
yeah, read the Japanese and then say what it means in English.
I shine. Office worker.
Hi.
Slave.
Ooh,
Shoko.
work.
Occupation.
What? Tenki-yo.
It's like weather forecast.
Yes, weather forecast. Tenki-yo. Weather report.
I got to say. Is that what I am?
Hi.
Hot.
About time they gave us that one, right?
Yep.
We've already been using it.
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Yes.
That's good right now.
Homestay.
Hi. You can guess what that one is, right?
Every week.
Every week, yeah. You already knew mainichi and maiban, right? Maishu. And by the way, you can do maishumatsu for every weekend.
Do they have that on here?
No, but I'm just
Weird.
letting you know.
Next month?
Next month, yeah. The same guy from Raishu
I'm writing.
and Rainan, yeah.
To be skilled in.
Hi. Usually used to describe someone else, not yourself, because it sounds like bragging. Hitana, clumsy, unskilled at. Usually used to describe oneself to be humble, and not used to describe other people very often because it sounds insulting.
So basically, you suck at that. I suck at this. What's more?
Yeah.
Famous.
Hi. And the kanji for this one are interesting because the yu in yume is the same kanji for aru, to have, and the me is the same kanji as the na in namae, name, so have a name.
Oh, so have a name for yourself.
Yep. Amega furu.
No.
Yes.
It rains.
It rains, yes. So, amega futteimasu would be it is raining. The teimasu structure that we just recently had. So, futteimasu is it is raining. Amega futteimasu. But amega furu is it rains.
It was furu by itself?
Furimasu is to fall, but it's specifically for precipitation.
Okay.
So, like amega furu and yuki ga furu. And I really don't know of any other instances of it being used besides rain and snow.
Okay.
And probably hail, but I can't think of the word for hail offhand. To say, hi.
Makes sense with the concept.
Yes, the kanji.
What's
like
that?
it says.
Yes, that kanji really helps, doesn't it?
Yeah. What's the difference between that and hanasu?
Hanasu is to speak. So
Okay.
they're very similar meanings, but just like English, we've got both words.
Alright.
So when you're quoting what somebody said, you use you. But when you're talking about, like, I talked with my friend, you probably would use hanasu.
Okay. And then city.
Right. Notice the kanji, denwa. You know what these two kanji are? That one is
Just
the same wa that's in kaiwa for dialogue, conversation. So conversation, and this one is
electricity.
electricity. So electric conversation. Denwa suru. To make a phone call. Isn't that cool? Electric conversation.
Osokunaru.
Osokunaru,
To be late.
to be late. And again, do you remember osoi? Late, the e adjective. Osoku is the adverb form of osoi. And then naru is to become, it's a verb. So osokunaru is literally to become late. Omo is to think. And just look at the kanji for a sec. This rice field and heart. So I don't know how they came up with that one, but it makes makes me think of somebody like sitting and meditating in the middle of a rice field for thinking. Motteku. Everybody remember mottekuru?
To take a
To
thing.
bring with you. So motteiku, to take with you. So mottekuru is like you're coming and carrying it, bringing it, right? Motteiku, you're going and carrying it, taking it with you. Make sense?
Yeah.
Stare.
Yeah, to stare at, jiro jiro meter. That's one of those onomatopoeia phrases that Japanese has so many of. Another variant of this that you may have seen if you read manga is jitto miru.
Can I just use it just to elongate G? I've seen that like a little signal.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's ji and it's like stare, yeah. And they'll do like a dotted line or something from the eyes of the character to the thing they're staring at. Jiro jiro meter. Hi.
To
Good night. Hi.
To do the laundry.
Hi.
Now, that to drive, is that only specifically for cars or?
Cars and buses and trucks. things
Okay, because like you
that.
couldn't use it as like a, I drove this person away from me, or like I drove, or like,
No, it's for vehicles.
like even like driving cattle or anything, or?
Yeah, I don't think it would be used for that.
Okay.
Untensuru is specifically for vehicles.
So like buses do? Or I mean.
Yeah, untenshu is a word that means driver, and it's literally, and it's used for like bus drivers and stuff like that. This one? To clean, as in household cleaning. Sentakusuru is specifically laundry. Sojisuru is cleaning, like housework, like scrubbing the kitchen kind of stuff.
To cook.
To cook, right?
Nade.
Right, minna all together now. It's like all together. Think about it. Minna is everybody, everyone, right? And de is the particle de. So just like we had hitori was one person, hitori de is alone, right? So minna de is all together with everyone. Mitsute is
About.
about or regarding. So for example, Nihon ni tsuite takusan benkyou shimashita. I studied a lot about Japan, that kind of thing. That's an example.
Mada.
So mada with a teimasu, teimasen negative is like it hasn't happened yet. So, mada tabeteimasen, I'm not eating yet. Mada tabemasen, I'm not going to eat yet. So it gives it more of a future tense when you use the straight form of the verb versus the teimas form. Oh, sit down.
Eating.
Yes. Well, iru to exist when it's a root verb, iru imas, but iru as an u verb, irimas means
To need.
to need, yes. So irimas is our new vocabulary. Tsukuru is to make. Tsukurimasu. Sit. house cleaning, but arau is like washing something, like washing your hands or washing your dog or something like that.
Kiru. Which one is this?
Kiru, kirimas, I believe. Kiru, kirimas, to cut.
Okay, that one.
Yes, that one.
What's the onomatopoeia for cutting? Like scissors. Yeah, that's what it was.
Toki, like,
Toki toki suru, yeah. Toki toki.
That reminds me of this one, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
the onomatopoeia for it.
Hajimeru is
to start.
to start. Notice the similarity to hajimemashite,
Yeah.
Yep. Starting a new relationship, hajimeru. Okay? Itsumo,
Always.
always. Notice itsu, when, mo, also. So it's like all the times, itsumo.
Sounds so.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Hi.
Asate. The day after tomorrow.
Hi, so it's
Karaoke.
hi. Everybody knows what that is, right?
I don't know. I think you should teach me and we should go out and do it for sure.
これは
Kiss.
今朝 this morning, yeah. 今日の朝、今朝。
今月。
今月
This month.
this month, right? 来月 next month, 今月 this month.
Tomato.
Exactly what you think.
Guess that settles that argument.
Yeah, exactly. これは何か something. The 冬 the season just passed.
Winter.
はい。
Kamera.
はい。
空気。Air.
はい。
黒板。
はい。
ところ。
この lace. はい。夏 summer. はい。はい。
Googly.
漢字。
Oh, atarashi.
はい、新しい。There's the kanji for 新しい。Isn't that fun?
That's fun. Kiku.
聞く。聞きます。To listen, to ask. The 聞く to listen and 聞く to ask used to be two different kanji, but they've become conflated and now they use this one for both.
Not sure that's helpful or confusing.
Yeah, well, the kanji that's no longer in use was more complex to write, so I think a lot of people just got tired of writing it or forgot it too often. Shigoto. So notice servant and event. So things that you do to serve others are your shigoto, your job. Which, if you think about it, pretty much every job, you're doing something that is serving or helping other people in some way. Otherwise, why would you be getting paid for it, right?
So the second kanji, you said event or?
Yes, koto is an event, a thing that happens.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
one
it's
thing.
not, so by thing, it doesn't mean like,
It
okay.
doesn't mean an object, a concrete object, it means a thing that happens.
And a
Koto and mono
Yeah.
are, there's a distinction in Japanese that we don't make in English. Koto and mono. Mono is an object you can hold in your hand, it's a physical object.
Okay.
Koto is a thing that happens, an event.
I see.
So it's an important distinction that their definition in the textbook doesn't do a good job with.
I see.
Yeah, so shigoto is acts of service is a way you could translate it, but it means your job, your occupation. Isn't that interesting?
Would it be easier to say instead of thing like event?
Event good definition, I think, for koto. Koto is a thing that happens, so an event is a good word for that.
Denki.
Thinky,
Electricity.
electric,
Like,
spirit. So, electricity, thinky. They also use it to mean electric light a lot of times, but the base meaning is electricity.
something new.
I like the four, huh? Like,
Yasumu?
Yasumu, yes, to rest. And notice, what have you got? You've got a tree and a person leaning against it to rest.
Yeah.
Isn't that the coolest? I love that kanji.
When
That's
they
like one of
mix
the
that-
easiest ones to learn because of that. You've got a person resting against a tree. Yasumu. You to say homo, to think,
None.
nani or none. Both readings are possible on this kanji, so it's contextual. You know, if you know which one it requires, you just pronounce it that way. If it's not clear from the context, usually they'll put the furigana on it so that you pronounce it the right way.
Nani.
Nanin or nanijin. So, nannin desu ka? How many people are there? Or nanijin desu ka? What nationality are you? So again, contextual. If it's not obvious from the context, usually they'll put the furigana on it so that you know which way to read it. Kuruma. And look at this kanji. Bird's eye view of a little two-wheeled farm cart. Wheel, wheel, axle, bed of the cart, cargo.
Cute.
It's like an X-ray view.
Yasumi.
Yasumi, a vacation, as in Natsuyasumi, summer break, Yasumi, spring break, Fuyuyasumi, winter break. Yomu, yes. Notice the radical. Makes sense that the communication radical would be part of yomu, right? You to say is also the radical that is in most of the communication related terms in Japanese.
Never mind, sorry.
The yomu. これは次。
Next.
はい、nanji. Finally. You've been seeing this for a long time, now you get to write it.
会社員。
はい、会社員. Company employee. And doesn't the in look like a little Lego guy in a uniform? So, and a lot of offices in Japan, for the lower level employees, often there is a uniform. The executives wear suits, but people like the oeru, the office ladies, often they have a uniform.
Shinbun.
Shinbun, yes. New things that you've heard. The news in a newspaper, shinbun. If you think about ancient times, when there might have only been one or two literate people in the village, and they would have gone to the center of the town and had a broadsheet, and they would have read it out to everybody, and that was how everybody else in the town got to know the news, because the one person who could read from the newspaper to them. That's probably why it's those two kanji, shinbun.
Even Japan had the town crier, or
I don't know for sure, but I would assume that they had something similar, because, I mean, look at how much time and effort you have to put into learning Japanese reading and writing, right? them did not, and there was no such thing as free schooling back then. So, a few hundred years ago, there were no educated peasants. It was, a few rich people who had an education, and a lot of samurai would probably only read and write their names and some basic stuff, if they were low-level samurai. The upper echelons of the nobility were the only ones who were truly literate for a long time. Tsukuru, to make. If you look at this kanji, you've got the person, right? And this, to me, kind of looks like one of those T-shape, T-square things that builders use to make stuff, like architects and builders. So doesn't it kind of look like an architect's tool or a plumber's tool or some kind of a tool?
Does it come from a short silver?
It's not the same. Yeah, it's not the same piece, but it kind of looks like a tool. So, a person holding a tool, making stuff. Tsukuru. Make sense? And then, densha,
Train.
electric vehicle, train. 'Cause most trains in Japan are electric as opposed to diesel or some other form. So, densha. Ida-san. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, this off, and we're gonna open up this guy. And let's see.
These are a lot harder words.
Okay, well, I just put it out of my own reach, so I'm gonna shrink it back down again a little bit. There. Now it's more likely that I'll be able to actually write on the board a little bit. Okay. Or do you want me to type in here? I could type into it and then,
It may be easier.
yeah. Okay, so do that. Okay. So let's do some quick review. So we're just going to do the first few of these, but then I've uploaded a blank one of this to Canvas, so you guys will be able to go in and use this as your practice sheet if you want to practice our conjugations. So let's do a quick review. So stomeru means stomeru, ginko ni stomeru, to work for, right? Okay, so the present tense long form positive, also known as the mas form, would be let's see, oh, it would help if I had this set for Japanese, wouldn't it? Here we go. Much better. Okay, so tsutomemasu, right? Tsutomemasu, right? So far so good? Okay, what is the present tense short form? Stomeru, same as the dictionary form. It's just another word for dictionary form. Tsutomeru. Same deal. Cool? Okay, present tense negative long form would be right? And then the present tense negative short form. Does anybody know how we get there for what kind of verb is this? Ru verb, right? So what's the rule for the ru verb? Anybody know? Exactly right. Okay, so tsutomenai. Easy, right? Okay, and we're not going to worry about the past and te forms for now because hopefully you guys still know those, right? And this chapter is specifically focused on the present tense short forms, positive and negative, so that's what we're going to work on first. Okay, how that works. So, futoru, right? Yep, futorimasu. Okay, and then, hai, futoru again. Because the dictionary form and the present tense positive short form are the same thing. Okay, so futoru, and then the long negative form is hai, futorimasen. Okay, and then short form negative is hai, futoranai. So what's the rule here? Does anybody know?
Changes to all.
Yes, it changes to ah. So do you guys remember, let me see, just trying to think about a good way to demonstrate this. So, make this larger so I can see what I'm doing. So do you remember, let's use toru to start with. Toru. So the mas form is futorimasu, right? Futoranai. So, does everybody see a pattern here? Yep. So we've got ra, the, u, right? And if we wanted to continue, futoreba and futoro, these forms also exist. Okay, so obviously we're not learning all of these yet, but I just wanted to show you that if you go with the pattern, you get rarirurero after the basic first part of the verb. Isn't that cool? And this works for all of the verbs, okay? Which is why another word for verb is go dan. Go dan verbs are another word for verbs because you've literally got ichi, ni, san, shi, go, dan. Okay, the dan are, you know, the like akasata nara ma wa yara that's the adan. Iki, shiji, etc., is the idan. Ukus, suzu is the udan, and so forth. Not udan, not udon.
I know.
That sounds so similar.
Still,
I know.
it's the hunger. For sure.
Yeah. So the godan verbs all follow this pattern. The one that you have to be careful of is, let's use how as an example, to meet. So that one changes to aimasu. Oops. Masu. Yep, aimasu. And then awanai.
What?
Yeah, so it actually changes. So the vowel ones only, the ones that end in u for the dictionary form, they conjugate in what you could call sort of a modified version of the wa column. Okay? Wa, I, u, e, o. You remember when you do the chart in hiragana, it's wa, blank, 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 and then the particle o. But in this case, it's like wa, I, u, e, o, and it's the regular o, not the particle o. So ao, I, ga, and ao would So the key point to know here is all of the ones that end in u for the dictionary form and change to imas for the mas form, they're going to go to awanai. So kau, kaimas, kawanai. Utau, utaimas, utawanai. All of them follow this pattern. Okay, and I'm just highlighting the ayueo thing just so you can see the pattern more easily. Isn't that helpful though? So you can do that for all of them. So iku, ikimas, ikanai. Kiku, kimas, kikanai. Yomu, yomimas, yomanai. They all follow this pattern. Make sense? There is one special exception that we need to talk about, which is aru changes to what?
For what's the
Aru changes to, for the short form negative, nai. Aru and nai. And the reason for that has to do with the kanji that they're written with, because aru is actually written with more than one kanji sometimes, but the most common one that you'll see for existence is this one, aru. And then nai, oops, is that one. They're entirely different kanji. So that's why, unlike other verbs where it's the same kanji regardless of how you conjugate the verb, this one, the opposite of to exist, is this kanji that means to not exist, all on its own. So that's why it's this weirdness. So aru, nai is just a weird exception. Aru, arimas, arimasen, all come off of the verb aru. Okay, but the short form, nai, blame it on the Chinese.
So never mind, is this just like a noun form of it, or like?
That's the verb, nai. So, and I don't know if at some point, maybe in the past when Japanese was written more completely with kanji and very few kana were in use, or before kana were in use at all, perhaps words like nai and even like conjugations like wakaranai or chisakunai, maybe all nai used to be written with that kanji, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know enough about classical Japanese to be able to tell you. But for whatever reason, in Mandarin, this aru kanji means to have, to exist, and this nai kanji means to not exist, non-existence. It's a Taoist kind of concept. And somehow those two just transfer as is into Japanese, and we're stuck with it. So it is what it is. So isn't that interesting? But that's the origin of why aru is an exception in the short form, aru nai. Okay, so you don't have to know these kanji. They're rarely used anymore in modern Japanese. You have to look for publications that are like reprintings of things that were written before 1950 probably to find these kanji in very much use. From the 50s onwards, their use has gotten rarer and rarer. I'm sure there are still some things that use those two kanji in these contexts, but they're just not as common as they used to be.
I was going to say that I don't think the book even has the kanji for aru, did it?
No, I don't think this textbook even taught you the kanji for aru. And it's not that hard a kanji to learn. And when they teach you yume, this is the yu in yume, this aru kanji. But they don't teach it to you until they teach it as part of yume. And you don't see it used for aru very often at all anymore. It's really quite rare. So at any rate, so I'm going to let that get saved. So you'll have this too when I repost to Canvas. Okay, and I'm going back to here. So, so if we were going to put, let's see, there's aru. So if we were going to do aru, we've got arimasu, right? And then aru, and then arimasen, and none. And normally you'll just see it written in hiragana like that. Okay?
Yeah, the textbook, they don't put any kanji like that.
Yeah, like I said, those kanji are rarely used anymore. It's very unusual to see them in use, but I just find it interesting, and I think it just helps people to understand why we've got that weird exception when all the other verbs, for the most part, follow a nice, neat pattern. Okay? So, speaking of things that don't exactly follow a nice, neat pattern, let's look at our two irregulars. So, suru, of course, changes to shimasu, and the short form is back to suru. Okay, present negative long is shirimasen, and then of course short negative is shinai. Shinai. So doesn't really follow a predictable pattern, does it? It's more like the stem with nai, rather than anything that follows anybody else's pattern, right?
It's really cool though, because like, as someone who watches anime, like you hear like a lot of these words,
Yes.
and you're like,
I would put them into the short forms and I go, that's familiar now.
Yeah.
That's where it's like a little like, I know all these words now.
Yeah,
Just-
so
I never knew their names.
So let's talk about kuru, because this is another one that doesn't follow any pattern, not even the same pattern as suru. Okay, so kuru, of course, changes to himasu, and back to kuru, and then himasen, and konai, yes. Konai, so again, not regular. So I'm just going to highlight this whole darn column because it's kind of crazy. So the ru verbs, just drop the ru, add nai. That's easy. U verbs, change it to a nai, right? Same consonant plus a nai or wa nai if it was a vowel, right? Suru changes to shinai, and kuru changes to konai.
Konaide, that's don't.
Yeah, konaide is like don't come.
Yep. There's a Oh wow.
Yeah.
Everything's being like puzzle pieces. It's,
Yes.
It
Yeah.
sucks because there's
If
also
you-
no pattern, but there's.
Yeah, but if it's something that you've heard before, that helps a lot, doesn't it? So konai.
Here's
Okay.
an anime girl scream that in my head.
Konaide.
Yeah.
Don't come over here.
Mhm.
I don't know, the one word that like my brain goes with is hayaku.
Yeah.
I use that at work all the time.
I
No
know.
one knows what I'm saying, but I use it.
That's funny.
That or-
My kids know that one from Totoro.
But another bad one I use is actually,
Hayaku.
I use a doke a lot.
Yeah, my kids actually, one of them will yell, "Matte," and the other one will yell, "Hayaku."
Good. That's so cute.
That's adorable.
I'm teaching my kids Japanese, but I'm gonna be bad at it. They're gonna be really good at it. That's so good.
So let's do some renshu. Okay, yes, you've got the right structure here. Okay, So does that now make it feel like you're ready to do some conjugation of short forms?
Gonna try.
Okay, and does everybody know the two categories of reasons why we want to know short forms? One reason is casual speech, right? Anime is full of it, so you'll be able to understand your anime better. But yeah, casual speech in general, short forms. The other reason is, remember how we had certain structures that require te form plus something to make the grammar you wanted? So like, tabete mo ii desu ka? Tabete kudasai. Tabete wa ikemasen. You remember all those structures? You have to put te form in there or it doesn't work, right? You remember the stem form from last chapter? Tabe ni ikimasu, going for the purpose of eating, right? Eiga o mi ni ikimasu, going for the purpose of seeing the movie, right? You have to have stem for that or it doesn't work, right? There are structures like that where you specifically must have the short form positive, or you must have the short form negative, or you can use either the short form positive or negative, or you have to have the short form past positive or the short form past negative to make it work. So all of these short forms that we're starting to learn now fit into other structures where that particular structure, that's the way it works. You can't put te in its place, you can't put stem in its place, it's got to be that short form. Okay? So that's the other important reason for covering short forms besides wanting to be able to use casual speech and understand casual speech. Okay, so let's start by doing part A. So go ahead and read both the short form positive and convert it to the negative. So say both. Okay, Brandon-san, example を読んでください。
書く、書かない。
はい、1番。
見る、見ない。
はい、2番。 開ける、開かない。開けない。開ける、開けます、開けない。
Okay.
Yeah, you can always do the must form as an intermediate step to help yourself figure out which one it is.
I
Yeah,
wasn't sure if it was
yeah,
Uru.
yeah, yeah. Well, if you try to akerimasu, doesn't sound right. Akemasu sounds better,
Why
right?
did the first
Okay.
one get changed to ka? Like I had,
Kaku, kakanai. Kaku, kakimasu.
yeah, so ki gets changed to
Kakanai.
ka? Or,
Kuki ka.
okay.
It's that Godon thing. Remember?
Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
It's
Get
steps on
it.
the ladder.
Yeah, it steps on a ladder. Yeah.
Alright, so it changes from ka, it changes from ku to ki to
Kakiku.
ka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kakiku.
Woo.
Kakanai, kakimasu, kaku.
Verbs go to anai, except
Yeah.
if it's the vowel goes to wanai.
Right. All the u verbs do that.
So like
Great.
yomu would be like yomanai.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense. Let's do this. I'm ready to
Okay.
scream.
じゃあ、おじさんどうぞ。
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 開ける、開けない。3番。
すまない。
はい。
かける、かけない。
はい。
吐く、吐かない。
はい。
始める、めない？
はい。始めない。始めます。始めない。は
Yeah,
い。
I was like, that's a verb.
Yes,
yeah,
it
it
is.
is. That's
Yes,
an
it
easy
is.
one.
はい。
つける、
作る。
作る、つけ、I don't know.
作らない。You're conflating two different verbs. Skuru and skeru are two different verbs.
Okay, I get that I misread it as, I get that it's sukuru.
Yeah.
I just, some of the, like, the verbs that we had more with, like, the te form, I don't know as well, like, if it's a ru or a ru. So,
yes.
like, sukuru, I don't know if it's sukurimasu or
Yeah,
tsukurimasu.
tsukurimasu.
Tsukurimasu. Okay,
Okay.
so then it would be tsukare. Tsukurunai.
Tsukuranai. Tsukuranai.
Tsukuranai.
Tsukuranai. Yeah, that's a mouthful.
That is.
Tsukuranai. So,
What does that word even mean again?
tsukuru,
Yeah.
tsukuru is to make, right?
Make.
Tsukau would be to use.
Right.
Tsukau is used, tsukuru
I love all
is
these
make.
words that sound very, very similar.
Yeah.
It makes me real
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah,
Oh, buddy.
okay. Hi.
Syntaxuru, syntaxinai.
Hi.
Hararu, arawanai.
Hi, arawanai. Hi.
My sister wrote that.
Kuru kanai.
Hi.
Wasure. Yeah, see, this is the te form. I'm like, what is this
Yeah.
a ruber or a uver?
Yeah.
Wasureruka.
Wasurete, wasuremasu.
Okay, so it's a ruver.
Yeah.
Wasure. Nai.
Hi.
It's a lie.
Haru and Nai.
Hi. There you go.
Omoana.
Hi.
Motteiku, motteikunai.
Hi.
Hayuranai.
Hi. Kairanai.
Kairu, kai, kanai?
Kairu, kairimasu.
Kari,
So kairanai.
kaira, what? Okay, oh yeah, because the re, okay, I was thinking
Yeah.
with the other one, it's like, yep, gosh, okay, so, kairu, kairimasu,
Ranai.
kairanai.
So if you,
It's, I switched it because I was thinking
Yeah.
about this kaku, and then I was like,
Yeah,
it's gotta
kaku,
be a K
kakana.
sound.
it's
not-
gotta be the same consonant.
Yeah, I just,
Change the vowel. That's why when they talk about the godan, it's the 5 levels within that same consonant column.
yeah, yes, I was starting to get it, but I just messed myself up.
That's
I'm
okay.
good.
When I post this, I'm going to post this one that's partially filled out as a separate thing. I'll give it a different name. So you've got the blank one that's totally blank, so you can play with it. And this one, so you've got a few examples to play with. And where it says sheet 2 right now, I'm going to relabel that to be like lesson, well, it's lesson 8, but it's the Godan verb stuff, the verb stuff. So I'm going to label it something like that so that you can also reference that sheet again. And you can use that to like practice a bunch of verbs, the 5 forms, or even just the 3 forms. Just, you don't have to practice the last 2 because the e and o ones are not until the green book. So you can just do, like kaku, kakimasu, kakanai for up, up, and you can do kaeru, kaerimasu, kaeranai, tsukuru, tsukurimasu, tsukuranai, arau, araimasu, arawanai. You can practice a bunch of them like that. And I also highly recommend that you take this chart like this and make sure that your list has all the verbs. And do them all. Practice all of them all the way across. You can add, if you want to, you can add in spaces for the past tense short forms because we're going to be getting to those. I hope, even though we're not going to get to the whole chapter, I'm going to hopefully at least have time to show you how you can do the short form past conjugation so that if you want to work on those, you can, but I want to focus on this first and make everybody get comfortable with the present tense short forms before we do the past tense short forms.
For the consonant.
Nice. Okay, so let's do affirmatives into negatives for adjectives and nouns. So first let's review what the rules are for this. Okay, so this is where it actually gets easier. Okay, because adjectives, all you do is drop the des. Woo! Right? So takai desu, short form is takai. Takakunai desu, short form is takakunai. Easy, right? Now for the not adjectives and the nouns, they actually use the short form of des in the positive, which is da. That's not that hard, right? Okay. And then the short form for the negatives, if it's something like genki janai desu, again, just drop the des. Genki janai. Okay, gakusei da, gakusei janai. See how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get a whole lot easier than that, could it? So unlike the verbs, which seem to be going out of their way to make things a little bit more difficult, the adjectives seem to be going out of their way to try to make things easier for us.
I can use that.
Yep.
I could really use that.
So why don't you do the first one, Sierra-san?
Oh, the example? Great. Good. Good. Yes. Okay. Takakunai. We're doing
Yeah,
that, right?
you can.
Alright.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
all
ahead
of
and
them?
do. Yeah,
Okay.
why not?
Okay, why not? Yep. Genkide, or genkida.
Hi.
Wait, we've had that word?
Genki.
Oh, okay, why is there da? We
Bec-
just talked about that.
Yeah.
Genki janai.
Hi.
And, gakuseda?
Hi.
Oh, okay, so it's like adjective.
Or noun plus
okay.
da for the not adjectives and the nouns.
Okay. And then, gakusei janai.
Hi. いいですね. Making some sense?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
like, when you talked about it verbally, I'm like, I don't get it, but like, if I do like the
Yeah,
actually
that's
do
why I
that
wanted
to
you
me.
to read it. じゃあ、ベスニーさん、1番。
有名だ、有名じゃない。
はい、有名じゃない。はい。
雨だ、雨じゃない。
はい。
忙しい、忙しくない。
はい。
かわいくない。
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 Kawaii kunai is not cute. Kowakunai would be not scary. So I've got to be careful of those two.
Mijikai, mijikakunai.
はい。
親切だ、親切じゃない。
はい。
安い、安くない。
はい。
綺麗だ、綺麗じゃない。
はい。
大変だ。
はい。
大変じゃない。
はい。
Yokunai?
はい。よくできました。
かっこいい、かっこよくない。好
はい。
きだ、好きじゃない。
はい。いいですね. So, does everybody get how those work, basically? Obviously, it's a good idea to keep practicing them. And I think this particular sheet only has a couple of examples of adjectives on it. But again, these are going to be up as Excel spreadsheets. You're going to be able to download them and do what you want with them. So you can add more adjectives to your list or make a separate list if you want and conjugate your short form adjectives. I highly recommend practicing two different ways. One way is to practice what we just did, affirmative into negative within the short forms. The other way is to practice affirmative long form short form, negative long form short form, so that you get the association that, you know, takakunai and takakunai desu mean the same thing. Wasurenai and wasuremasen mean the same thing. There's just a different level of politeness, but the meaning is the same. Make sense?
I'm probably going to add a definition column to that.
Good idea. Yeah, you can either add a definition column, or some people even like to do every other line, insert whole rows, and put the definition for each individual conjugation underneath it, so that you've got your differentiations between, you know, the negative and the positive and the past tense and the present tense in your definitions, so that you're not just memorizing futoru means to gain weight, but you're actually remembering futorimasu to gain weight, futoru, gain weight casual, futorimasen, not gain weight, toranai, not gain weight, casual, right? So that's, for some people, that's a more useful way to practice so that you're remembering what the conjugation means, not just how to make it, right? So that's why I made these Excel spreadsheets, and I'm putting them on Canvas for you guys. So you can download them and you can practice with them whichever way helps you the best. Okay, so let's look at informal speech. Now here's where it gets really interesting. How many people here have a music background? I know somebody does. Okay, this is where Japanese starts to get just slightly musical. Not a lot musical. You don't have to be in tune or anything. But what they
There's a
do
rhythm.
here is you actually get different intonations based on whether it's a question or a statement. Okay? So, if you're asking the question, are you coming? Let's say you're asking, are you coming tomorrow? Ashita kuru? Kuru?
Okay.
Okay? Kuru.
Okay. So
Okay.
answers go down and questions go
Yeah.
up. I think it's very similar to
Konai.
English as well, though. Yeah. Whenever we ask a question, I feel like our voice also kind of like.
Yeah. It's a more exaggerated up and down, I think, with casual questions in Japanese, because there's nothing else going on to indicate that it's a question except the intonation. Because adding ka is usually with the mas form, right? In the casual form, it is possible to add ka, but it also adds something else, which is a much more masculine feel to the question. Ashita kuru ka is still got the intonation going on, but it also sounds harsher. Ashita kuru is like, are you coming tomorrow? Ashita kuru ka kind of sounds like the samurai way of asking. You know,
Kind of
it's like
rough.
tough guy.
Okay.
So it's a little bit over the top sounding to add the ka.
Actual asking questions in English, like without what, like becoming?
Yeah. So kuruka is a little bit too much, but ashita kuru, coming? You coming tomorrow? You know, and then kuru. The is also down for yes. Kuru. Is that up, down, up. Konai. And it
It kind of makes it
goes,
sound like how you shake your head, like.
yeah, konai.
It's real cute.
Yeah. So, and if you've heard a lot of that in anime, that's going to help. If you've never really heard this stuff before, it makes it a lot more difficult to get the
Yeah,
hang
you're
of
like,
casual
what is
speech.
this? Go watch anime for 12 hours, like we do.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, it actually
That was my
does
childhood.
help.
I watched anime all through my childhood.
Yeah. So let's use this example to make the question and the answer. So first I want you to hear how I'm going to say it, and then I want you guys to practice saying it, okay? So, よく魚を食べる。
よく魚を食べる。
はい。よく魚を食べる。
よく魚を食べる。
はい。いいですね。じゃあ、食べる。
食べる。
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 食べない。
食べない。
はい。いいね。Okay, so did everybody kind of get the feel
I
for
love
it?
casual speech. It's so cute.
Yeah.
Aw. Reminds me of like Craig Pepper Sticker.
Yeah. The other alteration that is possible, you mentioned ka on the end, which doesn't always sound quite right. No on the end is another way to turn it into a question. We haven't really talked about the long form equivalent of that grammar structure, because it does add a little bit of a different structure and meaning. But you will hear no a lot, so I'm just going to mention it. So, like, よく魚を食べるの? It still has that same kind of up and down intonation to it.
I've heard that, but more in like Japanese dramas. I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
and like guys use it. I feel like because I've never really heard girls use it very much. But I've always
That's
heard
interesting
guys.
because it used to be more of a girls thing.
Really? Okay. Because I literally every time you say that, I'm like I think of like a bunch of guys saying it because I've always heard it. Maybe it's just that I hear it with them, but like the girls are so soft spoken, I don't hear it.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of guys use that.
よく魚を
We
食べ
just
る
watch a
の
lot of shows with guys in it.
No, actually I don't.
I think that these days it is sort of gender neutral. And it has come to somewhat replace ka, because ka was considered to be too harsh sounding. So that may be why you're hearing more guys using it, if they've kind of adopted it as a replacement for ka, because ka
I'm probably
sounded
not
too
even
harsh.
right. I just heard it. Like I'm like, maybe it's like a masculine thing, but it probably isn't, and I'm just going crazy.
No, that's okay. But anyway, so I just wanted to mention that, but they're not really asking us to work with that version right now. So let's just try, I don't know how much time we have left. Okay, so let's try a few of these. So the idea is to ask the question, よく魚を食べる? So it's 食べる, that's middle, high, low for the last three syllables of the question, basically. 食べる?
Is that
Okay, so let's try with, like, 今日勉強する? That one actually goes up on the end.
Yeah, I was like trying to do it in my head. I'm like, because the tabe has like has the drive.
I think
but
it's
suru doesn't
because
really.
I think it's because taberu is three syllables and suru is two.
Mm.
Okay, so maybe. I just do it. I never really analyzed it in that much detail as to like which syllable goes which direction.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kind of try it and find out. Okay, so ジュリアンさん、1番。
今日勉強する
今日勉強する? 今日勉強する? Bring it up a little bit. 勉強する?
今日勉強する
And then you're going to answer with either a yes or a no, casual.
勉強する。
勉強する. はい。Okay. 2番どうぞ。
今日友達に会う？
いいね。
Ow deny. No, ow. Wait. It changes to
Awanai.
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 Yeah, that's the weird one. The
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so, awanai.
Awanai. Okay. Alright. Yoku ocha o nomu?
お茶を飲まない。
はい。どうぞ。
Oh, right.
You
I-
want?
okay. よく電車、よく、
That was cute.
okay. よく電車に
乗る?
よく電車に乗る?
乗らない。
Okay. Yeah. よく電車に乗る? 乗らない.
毎日日本語を話す。話さない。
毎日テレビを見る
見ない。
いいね。じゃあ、7番どうぞ。
明日大学に来る？
来る?
来る？
Kuru. 今日宿題 dang it. I'm trying to like make it a full sentence, but I'm like maybe I should just take this a step at a time.
Yeah.
今日宿題がある
ある?
ある dang it ある
宿題がある?
Thinking about it too much.
宿題がない。
はい。宿題がない. いいね. 自転車を持っている doesn't mean are you carrying it, it means you own one.
Okay.
Well, yes, I am.
持っている。
持っている
Sorry, I just blanked out on the short form.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
はい
来週カラオケに行く。
カラオケに行く
カラオケに行く。Okay.
うん、行かない
行かない
来週部屋を掃除する
部屋を掃除しない。
しないはい
毎日洗濯する。
洗濯する
洗濯
洗濯
しない
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 Dang it.
You gotta just keep
Every
practicing.
day though? No. Heck no.
毎日
Who has time for
洗
that?
濯し
Who has
ない
the time to do the laundry every single day?
And by the way, on those kinds of phrases, if you want to say that you don't do it that frequently, but you do it, obviously, we would
I
hope,
just don't do it.
right?
I buy new
So you
clothes.
could say like, 毎週しない 毎日しない You can do it that way, which makes it more clear that you mean you don't do it at that level of frequency, rather than saying,
I don't do laundry.
掃除しない which sounds like you just never clean, or 洗濯しない no, I don't do laundry. Somebody else does it for me.
I wish.
Yeah.
Peasant work.
Okay, does that help?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, for next class on Thursday, we'll practice the next segment, which is basically the same idea but with our adjective stuff, questions and answers of those. And then we'll get into some of the structures that actually require the short form to make these other structures, talking about what someone thinks and talking about what someone said. So both of those take short forms to express those structures. So, and we'll continue to practice various things in short form. And we're also going to start doing some juxtaposition of short and long forms where you have to